Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Sma. My name is Sma. So I'm back with yet another recipe, and today we're trying out my recipe for scones, and I'm just going to show you the ingredients that I have. We'll have a quick run through the ingredients and then we'll jump straight into the video. So firstly, I've already measured out 3 cups of flour and I have a third of a cup of sugar. You can use whatever sugar you have. I'm using caster sugar, and in here I've already measured out 1 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and I have half a teaspoon of baking soda, aka bicarbonate of soda. And here I have 3/4 of a cup of butter, and lastly I have 1 cup of buttermilk. Now these are buttermilk scones, so they don't call for eggs. I'm not going to use eggs. And a quick tip, guys, if you don't have buttermilk, you can just measure out 1 cup of milk and put in 1 tablespoon of white vinegar or 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay, and as for the tools that I'm going to need, I have my rolling pin here, and I have a brush, just a pastry brush, just for brushing the tops of my scones, and I have a cookie cutter and I have a bowl scraper. So without any further ado, let's get cracking. As I've said, I've already measured out 3 cups of flour. I'm just going to put in the sugar, and I'm going to put in that mixture of baking soda and baking powder. Just going to quickly mix that with my hands, and I'm going to add the butter. I've already cut my butter into cubes. I find it makes it easier for me to kind of mix it up with the flour. And what you want to do here is just squeeze your butter. Use your fingertips, guys. You don't want to warm the butter up with your palms, so you want to use your fingertips, or you can use a knife to kind of cut through the butter and mix it with the flour. And the texture that you're looking for is kind of a coarse breadcrumb kind of looking texture. So you're going to mix the flour with the butter until you get that texture. Okay guys, so this is the texture that you want, and then you know that your butter is integrated in the flour, and then you can add your buttermilk. Again, I'm using my hands. Guys, your hands are your best tools. If you want to use a wooden spoon, go ahead, be my guest. Just going to mix this until it forms a soft dough. Okay, so I'm just going to tip this over onto my work surface. Try to mix it. Okay guys, you want to be gentle when you're handling your dough. You don't want to be too harsh and mix it too vigorously, because you're going to end up with a very dense scone. So be gentle and mix it. And voila, we now have a nice well mixed dough, and you can just pat it down with your palms and bring in your rolling pin. So I'm just going to quickly flour my rolling pin so that it doesn't stick when I'm rolling it out. Just flour it a bit and get to rolling. In fact, what I should be doing before I roll it is to also flour my surface a bit. I can start rolling. Perfect. So this mixture yields about 12 scones. If you want to make more, you can just double everything, double or triple everything, depending on how many you want. Just have a bit of a leftover. I think I can get one more. Bingo. I have my pan and I'm quickly going to spray it with my Cook and Spray non-stick spray. If you don't have that, you can use flour. You can just sprinkle a bit of flour, spread it over the pan, or you can use baking paper. Right, I've already preheated my oven to 180 degrees and I'm going to bake these for about 15 to 25 minutes or until they start turning golden brown. And then you'll know they are done. But before I bake them, I have prepared 1 egg and I'm going to brush the tops of my scones with this just to get that shiny golden brown color. You want to space your scones evenly because they're going to rise, so you don't want them to really get stuck together. It's not a train smash if they do get stuck together, but yeah, you want to give them a little room to breathe. You don't have to particularly use an egg if you're not really keen on using an egg. You can also brush it with cream or milk. It still get that nice golden brown color. Okay, so these are ready and I'm just going to quickly pop them in the oven and we'll see them after about 25 minutes. Okay, so these just came out of the oven and I'm just going to now put them on an oven wire rack, just a normal wire rack, to cool them. Don't want to pack them now while they're still hot. They're just going to sweat and you don't want to end up with mushy scones. So I'm just going to put them here to cool them for a bit. And once they're done, we'll be ready for tasting. So I'm just going to, look at that. This is what you're going for. Nice and tender. It's not very dense, and you can see the where the butter kind of like bled into the scones, and that's why we have such fluffy scones. So for this, tea, coffee, you know how it goes. You can have this during your tea time, your morning tea time, your afternoon tea time. Put a dollop of cream, put a dollop of jam, and you're good to go. Or you can just have them sewn or the way they are. So this is it for today, guys. Try the recipe, let me know what you think, and until the next time, I'm out.